and then back up your files real good. That way, if there would ever be a problem with the update, and with Microsoft, there has been a few times where they've messed up, you would have a backup and then back your system up. And when you're done doing the update, back it up again so you have your old copy and a new copy right away. What I think I'm going to do now is go over some stuff with Google so that there's some little tricks to doing different searches, and I'll show them to you. I'm going to share my screen. And go to Google. Oops. And on Google, if there's some tricks for different searches. If you're looking just for PDF files, you can put in a search and then put file type colon PDF, and all your searches will come up. All the PDFs will come up as PDFs. You can see I put in our website, and any of the PDFs on our website, all the PDFs will come up. Like our calendar and everything else.
George,
Yes.
on the calendar, are any of the dates clickable so that you could put them on a calendar or copy like a Zoom link or something from the calendar?
If there's a link on the calendar, you can go to that.
Is it clickable, is what I'm asking?
Yes.
The link is clickable.
The links are clickable.
What about,
It's not set to go on your calendar.
it would be nice if it was set to set a calendar reminder with the link to the Zoom session, so you didn't have to go back to the calendar again.
Go to the device. Oh.
Well, right now the links are set to go to the teacher.
for the
So,
classes.
except for Dick's, I'm not sure how his is set up. But when I taught, or when George teaches, it's set to go to the link
It
at
goes
the
to the office.
office. And I believe Harold is the one then that forwards the emails and the registration that come through, so that the teacher then knows who has signed up to, or possibly will attend your class. That's how it's currently set up. Okay, George, what are you doing next? I'm done with my part.
I'm going to go and show you a few other things that we can do on Google. If you ever do your package tracking when you do the post office and everything else, you can just put in the tracking number in the Google, whether it's UPS, FedEx, Prime. Just put the number down and it'll track it for you right away. And then also there's, if you go into related before your site, it'll bring up everything I put in our sign. This brings everything up on our website that's available. Like, and Charlotte County has a link to our club, so it's also on there. Also, if you're ever wondering what definition of a word is, all you have to do is put in define. And then a word, and it'll give you a definition of it.
John.
and it'll pronounce it for you and everything else. And these searches also work with the voice too. Weather in Milwaukee.
Share your screen, George.
It's 68 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee.
Oh, I'm sorry. Weather in Milwaukee. Weather in Milwaukee.
It's 68 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee.
And this will, if you, instead of saying a city, you can also give the zip code and it'll do the same thing. Weather in 53214.
It's 68 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee.
And nobody's taking care of the people, the hidden people.
Someone has feedback on their microphone.
Yes. Uh, if when people go into Malwarebytes, everybody always gets the a little in the left-hand corner an advertisement trying to upsell you to it. You can get rid of that by going into Malwarebytes, going into notifications. And this is automatic notifications are turned on. You can turn them off and you quit getting all the advertising for the Malwarebytes. Anybody have any other questions?
Looks like the president's gone out to vote here.
That's what I was gonna say. Harold's left the building, has left the office.
Everybody see I'm up where there's some fall colors.
Yeah.
Is
Nice.
that Kentucky?
Yep,
Is that where you are now, or are you down here?
I'm up in Kentucky now. I had high-speed internet installed on Monday. I'm now getting twice the speed I was getting with Comcast down in Florida.
So
No
what are you
charge.
getting there?
Charge for the modem, and it's only $45 a month.
Wow, and what are you,
Wow.
what kind of speed are you getting there?
About 40 MIPS.
That sure beats 10.
Yeah. My up is about 5.
Mine's about 0.5. Well, has everybody voted?
Yeah, I voted a week ago.
Yeah, so did I. I was planning on voting today, but my husband became ill and I was afraid I wouldn't be around today, so I
Yeah.
made sure that both of us got an early ballot and cast them.
Yeah, I did mine about a week ago.
Yeah, I can't remember when I actually voted on voting day now. Ever since I moved to Florida, I just go to early voting.
This is the first time I have voted not on election day. I've always voted on election day.
Yeah, I did when I lived in Rhode Island. The polls was right across the street from my house.
Open the drape and see if there's a line.
Yeah, I just had to look out the window, right?
Looks like there's been a great turnout this year.
I hope that's a good thing.
Yeah,
You-
that was kind of scary with all the early votes, though. They said that in Charlotte County today, they said that 71%
percent.
of registered voters had voted ahead, had voted early.
And when have we ever seen 71% of voters?
Never. That's usually the
Usually it's like
amount that
30%.
actually
Usually
comes up.
it's 25 to 35 on a presidential election, a lot less when the in-between years.
Now, are we being streamed on YouTube now?
I think so. We're trying to.
That's why, whoops, that's why Harold is missing. He was gonna go check it out.
Okay, I think I'll do the same thing.
Okay.
It just says waiting for Charlotte County Computer Club.
Oh, okay.
Scheduled for November 3rd at 5 o'clock, but
I have a question of the members. I know the answer for George, Dick, and Mary, but for Bernie, Linda, Jeanette, the fact that you're in now at the beginner section, do you consider yourself beginners? Or you're just, you got in now to be part of the evening?
I'm not a beginner.
You're not a beginner. Okay.
I am.
No, you're not. So you probably have more in-depth questions of something that would be coming up. Okay, we have a new one coming in. All right, welcome, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Gary, gotta push the, either unmute yourself or push the space bar to talk.
Well, I'm not used to being greeted.
There you go.
Dick doesn't do that.
He doesn't.
Oh, sometimes he does.
He also normally has a computer behind him. Now he's got, looks like northern trees trying to get ready to drop their leaves.
yes, I am in Kentucky. That's the view out the window that I'm sitting in front of right now.
There is only 9 participants this afternoon.
So far,
Yeah.
beginners is usually a little slower and things pick up around 6.
I may be at dinner by 6.
Oh, okay.
As long as you share.
Is it a Zoom meal?
It's not a virtual meal.
Oh,
Oh.
Is that my office I see in the center of the screen?
Yeah, that's Harold's office. He shares it with Trump.
Actually, I got a feeling that's the Oval Office about a century ago.
Yeah.
You can download the Oval Office picture for a whole number of different presidents.
I wonder if he chose a particular one.
Yeah, I wonder that too.
Personally, I think I would have put myself behind the desk.
That's a little more difficult.
That is a lot more difficult, especially the way Zoom does it.
Well, that desk.
Oh, and we didn't get the
Yes.
vote either.
That desk, as you probably know,
You're muted again. unmute yourself. Gary, you're still muted.
Yep.
Lower left-hand corner. Just
Yep,
click the
yep.
little,
There we go.
But we
okay.
tend to get too much chatter. But yeah, that desk, depending upon which movie you watch, has a bunch of secret compartments.
Oh, is that right?
And it was built from wood from the British ship Resolute. Is that right?
That's why it's called the Resolute desk.
Yeah. Is there anything else besides the wood related to that for the reasoning of the name of it? Or was it only because it was made from the wood?
Well, I used to work for the presidential libraries. And as you probably know, there's representations of that all over. And the only one who knew my name was Lady Bird, and she's died. So
I picked up some
Anna.
interesting information the other day that I posted on Facebook that you may not have seen. Did you know we had a president that served for one day? Back in
Yeah, who was that?
1849, Zachary Taylor was scheduled to assume the presidency on a Sunday, but because he was a religious man, the inauguration had to be postponed until the following day on Monday. The previous president and vice president had already left office. So as a result, a man named David Rice Atchison had to stand in as president for 24 hours. And after he died, his hometown created the smallest presidential library in history, and he was known as the most honest president ever. That's a true story.
He didn't tell a lie on the Sunday.
Yeah.
So we were headless for a day. That's awful.
Well, no.
Scary.
Imagine if a war had started, he would have had to take care of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
usually you're only made acting this or that because they want to dump the responsibility or the blame on somebody. So that was my life.
You were the dumpy?
That's just what I was going to say.
I thought there were supposed to be 4 or 5 different presentations ongoing. Are they ongoing, or is this it?
No, this
This is a question and answer session.
is the beginners supposedly. If you read the page in the bites, 5 p.m. was the beginners, 6 p.m. is intermediate. And that must be the email you got from Dick. That's not from the bites. Oh, you went mute again, Gary.
This is from Dick Evans, yes.
Yeah, that's not from the bites, which the bites list that 5 p.m. is beginners, 6 p.m. intermediate, 7 p.m. the meeting, and then we're done.
Well, George will do a little presentation on his program of the month.
right?
And then I am going to be doing a presentation that I'm calling The Cloud Confusion.
That's kind of appropriate.
Very good.
And I'm
name.
thinking maybe I should have called it The Cloud Conundrum.
That would be good too.
Rose, Dick does have that in here, but he talks about 5 basic classes, 6 intermediate classes, and 7 meeting classes.
Those were the times, Gary.
7 p.m.
Yeah, those,
That's time of day.
that's a time of day. Yeah.
Well, there's no PMs on there. There's
Yeah, I'll
PMs.
have to fix that for the next time I do it, Gary. Thank you. Good point.
Dick may be the good teacher, the typist he's not, so.
There's always an editor, right?
Say that again?
There's always an editor.
Yeah.
Just so you can blame
Dick is a
someone.
phenomenal.
Whoop, Gary, you keep going in and out.
I keep pressing the space bar up and down. Dick is
gotta
a
hold on to it.
phenomenal educator. He brings all this, I don't know how many gigabytes of whatever memory. He just brings it up and does it. It's just amazing.
Well, it was fun arriving here after 14 hours of travel on Sunday and having the cable guy come to install a whole new cable setup the next morning and get my computer set up, find a monitor in the basement somewhere so I could have a dual monitor. And I finally just got everything up and running. It's been going pretty well, except I can't get my printers to work.
Hmm.
Are they wireless printers or cabled? Wireless is always a challenge.
I got cable printers, but I just haven't had time to look at it. I just went to print. I got a big red light flashing, so I know there's something wrong over there, but I'll get to it some other time.
All of them seem to work with a cable, but who wants to use a cable?
Right. On your trip from Florida to Kentucky, did you get stopped and asked if you had tests before coming in?
No.
Are you quarantined?
No. Bernie, your working area looks like my working area. That's why I have a back screen on me.
I got one too, but I'm just too lazy to put it up. I'm looking for a nice Christmas one.
Okay.
I'm actually in my garage, if that
All right.
does
We
anything.
kind of figured that.
Thank you.
Do you know how to use a green screen and build a background?
Actually, there's nothing that works better than this XSplit VCam. It's free, it's easy, no green screen needed.
Hmm.
That's what Harold and I are both using.
How'd you get that to work?
You
No
just
screen?
download this XSplit VCam. It's free. It hooks itself into your Zoom program, and you put up whatever backgrounds you want. You don't need a green screen.
You could try that while we're doing this.
Then
Yeah,
you can put whatever backgrounds you want on there. I took the picture that's behind me right now about an hour ago from the scene outside the window I'm sitting in front of.
George, Dick did a whole presentation on this about 4 or 5 weeks ago on Thursday.
Oh, good.
Most of us are lazy though. Anyway,
And that's what it's called?
X split
X.
VCam. VCam or YCam? VCam.
VCam. I'm going to post in the chat window the link to an article that I wrote on it.
Oh, good.
Harold's here.
Is it up on YouTube yet? Harold,
Yes,
is the session up on YouTube yet?
no, it won't be.
I couldn't find a link. I just looked too.
It must go up after this, after the meeting's over, Harold. Is that what happens?
No, it should be live within 12, 15 seconds.
Huh.
Just got to learn what to do.
Well, we have to figure this out before we go back to having just in-person meetings.
Right.
But it'll happen.
Dick, do you want to do a preview of your cloud confusion or cloud conundrum? Or will we have to wait?
You'll have to wait. Otherwise, I'll go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, soon my virtual dinner is going to turn into a real dinner.
There you go.
George and Rose have a neat thing. They're both probably in the same house. They don't have to worry about people walking through in the background. I've got myself in trouble with that before.
Oh,
Yeah,
Houses
George.
like to know when cameras are on.
George is on the in his man cave, and I'm in the she shed. So we each have our own set of equipment.
The she shed. That's interesting.
That's what I call it. Yeah, and we have the doors shut in between to bring the feedback down from the microphone.
we
Yeah,
don't
I
even
think-
have to see each other. We need them to just Zoom them and Zoom each other and talk to each other.
It could get dangerous when you've got so much equipment on one side of the house, you know? But yeah, it's difficult to run a beginner class when you've got all these almost experts sitting in front of us here.
Just choose a topic. It'll be a beginner for somebody.
Yeah.
Because no matter how many years we've been working with computers, we always learn something.
Yep.
Has anybody else had the download of the or upload of the new Windows version 10? The
I've downloaded
20H2?
I've downloaded it on a couple of computers.
I'm on one of my computers. I'm having trouble. I have downloaded it. It went in fine, but every once in a while I'm in the middle of something and it kicks me out. So I may have to run through the update again.
Well, the advice that I'm giving everybody is wait.
Yeah, let them get the bugs out first.
I mean, I waited for a while before. I had to wait for a while for the 2004 because my computer wouldn't take it. I ended up having to start off with a fresh hard drive and install it, and then it worked.
Well, my other computer, the one I'm on right now, it kept coming up saying, because it was previously an XP that had been brought up to a Vista, that had been brought up to something else, and then brought up to a 10, that it wouldn't take the new 10 20H2, which is the new one. And so I ran all the the anti-malware stuff and the Windows antivirus. And then I restarted the thing again and ran the Macrium. And then I restarted it again. And when I came back in to the Windows Update Assistant, then it finally took it. But it took me a couple of days to get this computer to take it. So could be some of the new bugs that are in it, you know, until you get everything working okay. But just a hint, if you start having trouble with it, keep trying or run through everything and see if it'll take it eventually. But also I was forcing it to update, so who knows?
Sounds like a computer I used to have where I had to bring it up from a BIOS level like 3 or 4 to a 14 before it would actually do an update.
Right.
And yeah, it takes a little while and it's a little pain in the butt, but eventually it works.
I had been working with the Windows 10 2004 or 24, the April of 20, which went in fine, but it's this current one that was giving me grief. So, but I have it now, and that's not this is not the computer that's giving me grief. It's the one that went in right away that's kicking me out every once in a while. So, but that's what happens when you don't have a new piece of equipment and you keep trying to update it, you know, and keep pushing the envelope on it till it finally says, forget it, you've had enough.
I have something new in the upper left-hand corner of my screen, maybe from Harold. Recording live on custom live streaming service. I know Harold's out of the
Mine
picture.
says that too.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be that we're live on YouTube now.
Now, if you pull down the little arrow way to the right,
Yeah.
you can copy a link to the live session. I copied the link, put it in my browser,
And it still
came up
won't
with the
work.
same thing it said before.
Yeah, I tried it too.
Gee, Bernie, it must be getting dark in your neighborhood.
Oh, it's getting dark here too.
Or his wife turned off the garage lights. He really is in his man cave.
He is. Look at that. Bernie's
Yeah,
gonna
the,
disappear.
The message on YouTube says it's still waiting for us to let them in.
Hmm.
Where did Harold go?
He may be trying to figure that out.
Harold's been gone for several minutes.
Hey, Gloria, good to see you.
And according to my screen, it says it is streaming live.
Yeah, but when you go there, George, it doesn't come up.
I know that
Okay.
because I have it. I could stop it right now, which I'm not going to do. But I have the option of stopping it, which means it's supposed to be going.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have the option to start it? You
I
should have
did.
been the one to start it, right?
I started it.
Well, it's recording. It's just not streaming live.
Not streaming to.
Right.
And besides that, we are recording it so that 50 years from now, someone can dig it up and watch us.
That's the scary part.
Yep.
It'll be like one of those time capsules that some of us may have buried back in the 50s and 60s.
Bernie, you need to turn the light on yourself.
He flickered for a minute.
I can see a reflection of something in his glass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably his computer screen.
Yeah.
He's gonna go find a light now.
You shamed him into it.
Hey!
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 All right. Woo.
Hey, Bernie's back.
It's Bernie.
Cheers.
But now there's glare and he can't watch the screen.
But we can see his face.
Yep.
Bernie, speak up. We can't hear you.
Turn your mic on.
He doesn't want us to hear him.
Bernie, we can't hear you. Turn your mic on. Push your space bar down or
Mhm.
click on the mute button.
Hold the space bar down while you're talking. Oh, guess he doesn't want to talk.
Why'd that change?
Hey, Gloria. Yep. We heard your voice.
Rose.
Hi.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Loud and clear.
I hear somebody's radio in the background too.
That's my TV.
Ah,
I've downloaded that broad, the VCam, and it's just kind of like screwed everything up.
George, if you want to allow me to share my screen, I'll show some cute memes.
Oh yeah, do that.
You're
Please
in
do.
that as co-host, so you should be.
you should be
okay.
able to.
I don't know what that word means. I see it all the time, but I don't know what it means.
Co-host?
No, the memes?
Did everybody
Memes.
see that one?
Yep. Annie.
Yeah, see what it says? Tomorrow, tomorrow. The commercials end tomorrow. It's only a day away.
Yay.
We hope.
I tried to come up with a carpentry pun, but that would work. I think I nailed it, but nobody saw it.
Ah,
Who remembers walking home from school?
I do.
oh, yes.
Twice a day.
Is that Leave It to Beaver?
You know, it might be now that you say that, but I don't know. But look at the car in the background. That looks like a, I don't know, almost looks like an Edsel. I don't know.
No, and Edsel had that goofy thing in the front.
Okay, so
Edsel had that lemon face. Yeah.
yeah, maybe that's a Chevy or a Plymouth. It's got the little fins in the back, so it was probably a 56 or 57.
I'm thinking Plymouth, Chrysler.
Hmm. Yeah, it's funny. I never knew how far it was for me to walk to school, so I did it. I checked it out with Google Maps yesterday,
Ah,
and I found out that I was walking 1.3 miles to school. And to my junior high, it was 1.6 miles.
We walked to school in the morning, then we walked home for lunch, back after lunch, and then, so it was a nice,
oh, okay.
So you know.
Okay.
we didn't have a cafeteria.
Okay. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, back in my school, I don't remember. We never had parent pickup.
No. One car families.
Exactly. How many can relate to this one?
If you can bend over.
How true.
I
How about
picked
this one?
up a paper clip today. That's good.
Whoops.
Yep,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
those calls were on a continuous loop, weren't they?
Yeah, well, I know those, but I think they were supposed to stop when they got to the end. It's when they got to the end and stopped, everybody used the same one.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Being all soggy and dirty.
Yeah. What do you think, guys?
Ha.
It looked like a dangerous response.
Whoop. Okay.
That sound pretty logical? Yeah.
From your Collier County News Team, videos and photos on your phone may help save your life or someone else's.
How you solve the problem.
There you go. We're all having funerals at our houses on Thanksgiving.
In the state to use this new technology.
That would be a good idea. Did we ever have that problem?
How true.
Arrived 2 weeks ago, a key piece of evidence. Watch for CCSO's new picture, video, text to 911 feature on that.
Yes.
We must get at least one call a day.
Oh my God. Every day they're calling.
Here's a good solution here.
CCSO Communications Training Coordinator Amy Tuff says with an average of 500
That's the way my daughter thinks.
But with a new photo, video, text to 911 feature, those days are over. Initiate what is basically
We might have a couple of members that would like one of those.
from images of a vehicle crash to
Hmm.
after a major storm. It looks like this. A dispatcher answers your call. Your phone number has been given to me, the supervisor, the supervisor's console. I will then initiate. You'll send over views. From there, I can take that information and input it into.
Oy, oy, oy.
And how about this one?
First responders with a clearer picture of the scene before they arrive. Then those images are stored in a technology secure cloud-based server.
See, we are what we
That's
think.
good.
Not the actual, we are what we think. I was at the doctor's office the other day for a regular physical exam, a regular 4-month or 6-month checkup. And he looked at all my information from the blood work I had done, and he said, "Well, you're in pretty good shape this looks really good for someone your age." I says, "Yeah, I'm only 50. I got 27 years experience." I think yeah. And
Well, that's true.
I'll end it with that one.
Maybe we can send it back to China.
Yep.
Oh, well, Bernie's got his background, but he doesn't have himself.
Bernie disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah, Bernie, where are you?
Yeah, you got the.
Here, I'm trying to get this to work.
Ah.
Are you in front? Are you sitting in front of the computer?
Yes, I am.
Well, it's showing, but you're not. That's unusual. Check your camera, see if it's on.
Camera's on.
What does that message on the
Okay.
bottom say? To enable virtual camera? Okay. There you
There you
are.
go.
Oh, here he comes.
Oh, it's not working.
But it's
No.
not working.
That might be because of all the various miscellaneous stuff in his background.
He almost looks like Casper the Ghost.
Thanks. See,
Well,
when
who
I
was
do
it
this-
who was floating in her
I do this, it
background? Michelle?
Yeah.
Michelle was just a floating head for a couple of weeks.
Various miscellaneous stuff. Is there an acronym for that?
I think there is, but I
Probably.
don't know what it is.
Oh,
Hey, Bob.
Harold?
Yep. Well, Dick, it is
6
6
o'clock.
You're on.
Welcome to the intermediate session. I will be here intermediately.
Forget commercial. Can you afford a charter flight? You do the math. It's like 6 hours here.
Well, we've talked a little bit in this last hour. Mary talked about 20H2 and the fact that she's had a little bit of trouble with one of her older computers getting it updated. And I have put it on a couple of computers. I put it on Sherry's computer, and she hasn't had any trouble. She doesn't even know what's on there, so she hasn't had trouble with it. And I put it on one that I got sitting in front of me when I'm watching television, and I haven't had any trouble with that. But the one I'm on right now is my main laptop, and I've got 2004 on it. I'm going to leave it that way for another month or so, and then I'll upgrade it to 20H2. But you know, if your computer starts to run slow, and you know, it's even with XP, the longer I had XP on one computer, the less responsive it seemed to get. Because it ended up with all kinds of little junk in the background and on the computer somewhere, I don't know what it was. But the simplest way to get the computer to run super fast again, just like it came out of the box, is to reformat the hard drive and reload the operating system. And then everything works fast again. Now, the only problem with that approach is that you've got to back up all your data first so you can get your data back onto the computer. And if you've got any software that didn't come with the Windows operating system, you got to have the original disks or the downloads that you use to get the software back. So you got to keep track of all that stuff. You know, if you just upload your existing operating system to the next level of the operating system, you're upgrading to the next level of the operating system and bringing along like a train with 50 cars in the back. You're dragging all the junk from that you've been working with and having problems with for the last 3 to 6 months since the last upgrade. So sometimes the best approach is to do a rebuild and take the time to do that. And I wish there was a way to just say, you know, let's use Macrium or EaseUS, and let's just be able to, you know, back up all of our stuff, our programs and our data, put a new operating system in, and just bring back just the programs that didn't come with the new operating system. But there's no easy way to do that.
Sounds like a new design project.
Well, you can actually buy a program. EaseUS has one that will allow you to take the programs that didn't come with Windows and drag them over to a new computer. It doesn't work with all programs, however. So, because the programs put pieces in various places on your computer and make registry entries for them. And all that stuff's got to be taken off the old computer and transferred into the new computer in the proper locations. And again, if somehow some malicious software was added into those areas for those programs, you'll be bringing that over as well. So a clean install all the way around is the best way to upgrade your computer. But you know, that's part of the fun of what we do. And if all somebody's using the computer for is to get on the internet, pay their bills, watch some YouTube videos, check the stock market, whatever, all that can be done on any of the new devices. You can do it on a smartphone, you can do it on a tablet, you can do it on a Chromebook, and you don't have any issues with malware or antivirus programs or anything else. I don't know about you guys, but I use my cell phone for pretty much all that I do. There's very little I have to be on the computer for. But I will say it's certainly a lot more convenient with my computer keyboard and my big monitor than it is on my cell phone.
I don't use my cell phone for anything except a camera generally.
There you go. I bet you're not alone.
I want to enjoy what I'm seeing and doing.
Yep.
And the people I'm with or whatever. But the thing about the computer is I don't like to sit and sit and sit. But I like trying to figure things out. That's what gives your brain energy, I hope.
At one of the sales about a week or so ago, I bought one of those little, now I forget what the name of it is, but it's the little mini Alexas.
Oh, the Echo, the round
That's
one?
it. Yeah, the Echo.
The Echo.
They were on sale for like $18 or something. So I bought one of those, and we've been having fun with it. I brought it up here to Kentucky. Just had to reset the. All I did is put in my new Wi-Fi information for up here, and then I asked it what the temperature, what the weather was like, and it gave me the Port Charlotte weather. I had to go back in and change the address so it knew where I was. But it's kind of cool.
Can you program that to get a message or receive something from an app?
I don't know. I haven't really gotten too much into it. But it's a lot easier just to ask it a question when you're thinking about something instead of grabbing the cell phone or the computer and try to Google it. You just ask her and she tells you.
Right.
Because it's a Amazon program.
Hey, there's Rosemary. Hi.
Because the Echo is a Amazon program, it'll tell you about your Amazon boxes that are being shipped. But that's about it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. All right. That's
Yeah.
good to know.
Or if we're expecting something to arrive, a package of some sort, one of us would say, Alexa, are there any packages today? Or any deliveries today?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. What I found was interesting is that I have it stationed in Florida. I've got it right underneath the TV set because that's where some of my electronics are. And we were watching this TV show, and somebody on the TV show was talking to Alexa, and my Alexa answered.
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have that situation.
Well, I've got an iPhone, so with my iPhone, all I have to say is Siri, and the iPhone kicks on and waits for me to say something.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is when I say Siri, it sounds the same thing as if I say Sherry. So if Sherry's sitting with me in the car and I say Sherry, and then my iPhone answers.
Instant replacement.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Does anybody have any questions? This is the session where you ask the real high end questions.
Well, going back to my question about Alexa. My husband's been having problems with falling. So I've been thinking about getting him a smartwatch with fall detection and having it so that if he falls, its first response is to trigger an app that does a siren or some kind of alarm. So I thought if I could trigger it to do something like whatever the Google Home thing is, or the Alexa or whatever, that would solve the problem. And then as its second action would be to actually phone or text me. And then the third action would be, well, nobody's here, so I'm going to call an EMT. So that was why I was asking the question about Alexa.
Okay.
Does anybody know anything to solve my problem?
Well, I know I could use Alexa to turn lights and equipment on and off. If I
Yeah, but
buy
that's
the adapters
something
to do
that
that.
you have to activate by voice, though. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about a situation. He falls, he passes out, hits his head or whatever, passes out, and he has no way to push a button or respond verbally.
Now, does the smartwatch have some of those capabilities?
Yeah, they do.
Well, the smartwatch has the capability of detecting a fall. It has an EKG. It has it's a blood pressure monitor, temperature sensor, several other things. But my question is, I want something to, when it detects a fall, that it doesn't immediately call
Yes.
the EMS or an ambulance. And it doesn't just phone or text me. It actually sounds an alarm in a house so that I will hear it even though I leave my phone on silent and have an earbud in my ear. Well, if it's on silent, my earbud's not in my ear, then I won't hear a phone call, but I'll certainly hear an alarm in the house.
I don't have an answer for that, but I wear this thing around my neck.
But
And
that requires you to
you
push
to
it.
push it, yes, but
Yeah.
it will also unlock my front door.
But he has had 3 instances where he's fallen and passed out.
I've done that.
And I was not in the room for 2 of those occasions. And I didn't even know that he had fallen and had passed out for several minutes. I don't want that to happen again.
Gloria,
She's-
what were you saying?
That's right. You know, especially Mary, when you live alone, it's even worse because falling, my balance is just horrible. I mean, if the police gave me a sobriety test and told me to walk a straight line, I'd be all over. It just doesn't work anymore. And the watches do have that fall detection. The Apple does.
And so does the new Samsung watch. And there's a new Fitbit that has it also.
I wear one that counts my steps too. That's what I like.
Yeah, well, that's, if I wanted it as a fitness tracker or whatever, that's all I would need, but I need it for more than that. And
Right.
I've been putting off buying any kind of a smartwatch, but now I have a specific need, but I want to make sure that I have the right response before purchasing something. I I haven't read any place where it'll signal to an app. But I was thinking, if the watch has the capability of using the if-then procedure, then would that be able to trigger an alarm application? Does anybody know the answer to that?
No.
You
That's-
might be able to check with the fire department because they have a setup where if somebody does fall, they'll come and lift them up, and they won't make you go to the emergency room. They'll keep you at home. But that's really convenient. I used them 3 times with Bud.
Yeah, but I don't want to,
That's not
I
your
really don't want to use that service unless I need it. And Rich fell 4 times in the same week before going to the hospital. So
He's lucky he didn't break
I
any.
don't want to, oh, he did. He has an L1 fracture, and that's why he's now in home health care and will be for the next 6 weeks.
Sounds, Mary, like that's above all of our pay grades, and you need the help of probably 30 or 40-year-olds, or some of those wonderful kids that we're giving the scholarships to, who
Well,
are going
I'm-
on for technical work. Probably something that the tech people might want to know that that's a need.
Yeah, well, I've gone to a couple of forums and put the question out, but I haven't gotten an answer yet.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a good program to figure out and present to all of us.
Yeah, I mean, it has the sensor. All it needs to do is trigger another action.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the paid services, of course, go to a central site where someone answers the phone and says, well, are you okay? And then sends an ambulance to you. But I don't want something like that. I don't need it all the time. But I'm concerned now for his health.
Well, we'll have to keep our eyes and ears open and see if any of us can assist you by something we hear about. Dick, you had said you were going to talk about all the confusion in the iCloud stuff.
Yeah, confusion about the clouds. I'll do that for our presentation tonight.
Oh, that's the main presentation. Okay. All right. I'm jumping the gun here.
Yeah, now from this point on, I'm still, even though I'm up here in Kentucky, I'm still doing Thursday classes as usual. So we'll still get together on Thursday afternoons, no matter where I'm located.
Mhm.
And on Saturdays, the first and third Saturday, Mary's going to be doing those.
And George is going to do a
We'll still have
Macrium.
that same session. And George is good doing classes during the week, right, George?
Yeah.
Correct.
I had one on, but I had to take it off. I just recently had a couple of surgeries, and I need to recoup a little more.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And we got the election coming up. Tonight, of course, is the last day to, is it today's the last time to nominate somebody, George?
Correct.
Okay.
We're going to announce that at the 7 o'clock meeting.
And so the next meeting will be December the 1st.
December the 1st, we're going to be having our election from 10 to 2.
And it'll be live in-person election. It will be a live in-person election.
That's right.
yep. So you'll have
No
to
early vote.
watch the bites.
No early voting.
No,
No online voting. No mail-in voting.
no meeting.
Since I'm not going to be there, I won't be able to vote for the people that I want to bring on the board. Harold, how are you today?
Thank you very much. I'm good. I'm in the dark.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, turn on a light.
Stay there.
And Harold, Bob, you're down in Florida now.
Yes, I am. I'm doing 6 months of updates.
Oh, my.
And this Charlie? Bob, they haven't made much progress with that house across the street they're building, have they?
It's occupied.
Oh, it is. I haven't driven up that way in a few weeks. Son of a gun. So that's Jeff.
I'll say hello to him when I see him.
Okay. He owns the lot next to my house. Harold, any questions?
If you want some, I sure have some.
Sure, throw one out.
Go
This is
for
an
it.
Intermediate session.
I might blush.
Not those kind of questions.
Keep it clean.
Okay, Dick. Question for you. You know, I'm working on these pictures and I got always 2 pictures in one file. Is there a cropping tool on Google Photos?
You mean to separate those pictures?
Yes.
No.
How do you go about it?
Well, there is that program that I talked about a couple of meetings ago,
Maybe
where
that,
you could scan multiple pictures, and this program would take them and separate them.
Or you can, in Google Photos, you can go to the editing area and you can crop out one and save as, and then crop the other one and save as. And then you could still keep the dual picture as well as 2 singles.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Rose.
That was what I was going to suggest.
Yeah.
That, or you
I
could
do
do the
that a
same thing in
lot.
Paint.
now wait a minute. You go into Google Picture and editing?
Let me see if I should be able to share my screen.
Yes, I believe so.
Let's see. Whoops. Okay, bear with me here. There we go. Okay, if I go to my Google, here, I'll go to a separate tab. Okay, and I gotta get the pictures out of, okay, and I go to Google Photos. Okay, say I've got this one here where I've got lots of pictures.
I see
This
that.
very first one. So I'll click on that, and so that it opens up. Right here where there's those arrows,
Yes.
if you click on that, that comes to the editing area. This will change the coloring of
Correct.
it, this section. This little ditty up in this corner is for cropping.
Oh, great.
Okay, then it puts a dot on the corners. So say I want to keep this first one of my nephew and his family, but just that, not the whole thing. Let's see, I gotta get the people out of the way here. I can crop it up. and then do whatever I want with it.
Well, okay, how do you put that, for instance, you have to download that now, or how do you go about it to?
If you've already uploaded it, the pictures to Google Photos,
Yes,
you work within the Google Photos. Here, let me go back.
Well, show them how to save that.
I'm gonna undo and go back to the beginning here. Okay, I'm in Photos. And I'm gonna choose this picture where I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in one.
yes,
Okay, so I click on it to open just that picture. Then these little arrow here things are for editing. It will edit the colors. I don't want to do that right now, but if you want to, you could do that. But this thing in the corner where it has, you can almost see it's kind of blurred out. That's,
okay,
that's the editing. So I
Okay.
want to keep, I bring the corners up to get just that picture. And then when I have it where I would like it, I click done. Now over here, you do not click the second done or you will lose your whole original. You want to click these dots and save a copy.
and what, okay, where is that copy now? In Google?
I'll show you.
Okay,
Now I have my copy of just this single here, but when I go back to my photos, now I have the 5 pictures here, and here's the single one that I cropped out.
thank you very much, boy, that
Okay.
helps. Yeah,
Sure.
I just wanted to, I got those dual pictures on there, but I talked to you, Dick, about it. And I, in case I want to send one once, I wanted to crop it out and put it on an email or something like that. But that'll work great. Yeah, thank you
Does
very
that
much.
help? Sure.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. You got my question.
I'm going to show something else just to remind you of what we have done what we talked about before. If you go over to the club's website, on the right-hand side here, notice this? Photo scanning.
Yes.
We did that at the September meeting. And that's something called Scan Speeder. And that allowed you to, what I did with it is I scanned these 3 photos in. And then it automatically separates them. And you're able to draw boxes around them to let it separate them and make it the size pictures that you want. And you can even add words to the bottom, which I did. And that's the same article or same presentation I made where I talked about PhotoMine. And I know that's what you were using was PhotoMine.
Yeah.
Because PhotoMine, you snap it with your cell phone. This one, you do it with a scanner, but I haven't looked at it. It might allow you, instead of scanning, just to take a picture that you've already got that is got 3 or 4 photos in it and automatically separate it. So I'd have to take a look at that because I was this file might open up something where you can open up a picture that you've got on your computer. So you might try that one.
Okay, I'll try that one. But the thing what the issue I have is I got about I scanned now 7,000 pictures on Google Photo, and I worked it out so yeah I have 2 pictures in one file.
Yep.
And it works good. It's okay. And if I used to have these albums in a box, and you never look at these pictures in a box. And so I brought them along to Florida, and I thought that's a good project for a rainy day. Thank you very much.
7,000 pictures. You've had a lot of rainy days.
Yeah, well, this is what I got, and I got about as much, just as much more yet.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I got a bunch here I want to try and tackle before I leave Kentucky. Welcome, Grover.
When are you going to Kentucky?
I'm there now.
You're there.
Hence the background. The background is looking out my window. I took that picture this afternoon when the sun was still up. And you
Great.
can see that some of the trees still have some color left.
What's your temperature up there?
Right now, good question. If I was in the other room, I'd ask Alexa. But this morning it was like 32. Yesterday morning it was 25.
I thought it was cold this morning when it was 60 when I got up.
I thought it was
It's
really nice, but
73
it's
now.
cranking up to 50 here.
Refreshing. You know, Bob, that's waiting for you.
32 is a little bit more than refreshing.
The 25 was also. Even the dog doesn't like to go outside now.
It looks like your new internet's working well for you.
Oh, it's working really good. It's twice as fast as the one I have down in Florida. For the same price. And the modem's free, and the installation was free.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Who is it up there?
Well, this one's called CTS, but it's Community Telecom Services. It's a local outfit.
See if you can talk him in to come to Port Charlotte.
Yeah. We did talk to the guy that makes the donuts in town, and he says he's going to close down and move to Florida. So, but telecom guy we haven't talked to yet. And the other nice thing is when I leave, I can just tell him to suspend the service, no charge, and when I come back, whatever, in the spring, I can just have him turn it back on. So I don't have to steal the Wi-Fi from my neighbor anymore.
Ah.
With permission.
Well, it's hard to come by good neighbors like that.
Yep. I did see a remark from somebody, and I'm not sure it was one of our members or not. But does Comcast? Any of you have your Comcast set up as a senior with a senior discount?
No, it's 25.
I
I didn't know there was a senior discount.
Well, I didn't either. Somebody else told me that they had a slow speed because they're only paying $9.95 a month with their senior discount with Comcast.
Really?
Hey, that's what I want.
It's only available in certain areas, though.
And
Oxymoron, Comcast can discount.
it only applies if you're a new member starting on. I tried.
Hey, I'm a new member. I haven't joined. So that would be available? $10 a month?
I forget who I saw the comment from, but they're only paying $9.95 a month, and they have Comcast, and it's a senior discount or a senior plan.
I called about it, and they told me it was not available in my area.
And that area is where? Port Charlotte?
Punta Gorda, Loveland.
It's not available in Punta Gorda?
Might not
No,
be. Who knows?
It's just the area. I have the $25 service.
You have $25 service?
Yeah.
With Comcast?
That
Yeah.
sounds pretty good too.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Sounds good.
It works great though.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Comcast.
They run promotions, you know. It's a 12-month deal.
Hmm.
And when
About a
you go-
year ago, I got a flyer from Comcast that said, let's see, Xfinity for up to a gigabyte for, or gigabit for $20 a month for 1 year. I think it was 1 year, might have been 2, but I think it was for a year. And I kept putting it off and putting it off, and now it's expired. I haven't seen another deal come up like that. I should have taken it.
Well, I just Googled it and it says, I said, does Comcast offer a senior discount? And it came back and said, Xfinity does not offer any senior citizen discounts per se. Instead, they offer an Internet Essentials plan designed and priced for low-income customers.
Hmm.
Well, if you take away my Social Security, I don't have much income.
Yeah, you take away Social Security, and not many of us would.
Yeah.
Certainly wouldn't have a lot.
Most people with Social Security don't have a lot of income.
Exactly.
Well, that's true, but it is a good supplement.
That's what it was
It says the
set up for, to
Xfinity.
be a supplement.
I'm sorry, what?
Social Security was originally set up just to be a supplement, to add on to
Exactly.
what you can build for yourself.
It says that Xfinity's Internet Essentials is $9.95 a month. It includes installation and activation and equipment rental. So for $9.95, you get the modem, which is more than they charge for the modem.
Wow.
The Xfinity Performance Starter is $24.99 a month. And no installation, but it's a self-install kit. And you pay $15 to $25 a month for the equipment rental.
Does it say anything about the limitations on either of those?
The Internet Essentials for $10 a month, you have a 3 gigabyte maximum on your data.
Well, that wouldn't go very far. That's a
Performance
day.
Starter is 1.2 terabytes.
Okay, I can do 1.2 terabytes. 3 gigabytes a day. I mean, that's what I go through a day. That wouldn't
And
work.
that's up to 25 megabits per second. The Performance Select is $34.99 a month, and you get 100 megabits per second, and it's 1.2 terabytes. And again,
Okay, sounds
self-install and 15 to 25 a month. And those aren't special pricing. First time, that's their actual pricing.
I think I'm going to look into that. Got to get out of DSL line. It's horrible.
And those are senior-friendly internet plans, not their regular plans.
Okay, so that's a different tier than probably what I've been getting stuff in the mail for.
Yep. And I'm going to check into this when I get back because I think I'm paying more than I should. Because they're telling me that as of December, the deal I've got's going away and my price is going up. So maybe I better tell them I'm a senior.
Are you talking about cell phones?
No, we're talking about Xfinity Comcast.
Just switch
Okay.
it over to Sherry's name and say she's a new subscriber.
I have thought of that.
I'm thinking about doing that with an option for setting it up under Rich's name instead of mine for something, because for me it would be $200 and for him it'd be $20. So
There you go.
duh, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right?
That's right. Hey, Donna, how you doing? Hi, Barbara, Linda, Floyd. Got a whole bunch on here now.
I would like to share with you is that T-Mobile has 55 plus telephone plans, all you can eat and drink for $27.50 a month.
All you can eat and drink?
Talk and text, you know.
What?
So you did say cell phone plan, right? All you can eat and drink on a cell phone plan?
Yeah, it's magic.
It's virtual reality.
The funny thing is, I was at one of their stores and I asked them to print it out so I could take it home and review it. And right across the top of the printout, it says, "Do not share this with customers."
Oh, jeez.
Because it's a special plan and they just don't want us to know. But if anybody's interested, they want the 55 plus essentials or the magenta, which is $30, $35 a month. And you get international calls and a couple other things. Anyway, it's a great
Now,
plan.
does that price include tax?
Yes, includes all fees and taxes. Yeah.
Wow.
$30 or $35?
No, $27.50, and you pay the tax and fees, or $35, and it's included, and you get more for your buck.
Now, do they give you a free cell phone, or do you have to pay a?
You're not going to believe, I got for 2 lines, I got 2 brand new, just out on the market, September 25th. It's called a Samsung S20 FE, which is the fan edition. And
That's
they gave
pretty
us,
nice.
and what they do is they bill you $10 a month for the phones, but then they credit you in the same bill. So it's a wash.
Nice. So phones were free, and you got that because you were over 55 and you transferred in from a different service, right?
Yes, well, the transferring in, I don't think that had anything to do with it, but somehow they figured out I was over 55. That's a
Yeah.
joke. guys.
I asked you to show your driver's license, and it was on there, right?
You look like a teenager.
Looking for a quarter?
Well, I don't know. With the background you got, Barbara, you look like you're you're part of the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie.
Well, it was either that or the moving, tropics, and sometimes they can be distracting.
Yep.
But it's good to see everybody. We haven't been, well, we've been around, but we haven't been able to hop on lately. But we took a ton of stuff over to the club today.
Oh, good.
Yeah, briefcases, rolling briefcase, and all kinds of electronics and phones.
Cool.
Anybody else have any questions?
And Donna has her dog guarding us.
Yes.
Yes, my grand dog is always with us.
Well, Donna sent me a cute little video about passwords. So I think I will share that. I think they'll enjoy that. What do you think, Donna?
Yes, it's amusing.
Now this was it's a YouTube video, and it was recorded quite a few years ago, but it is definitely still appropriate today. So let's just take a quick look at that.
You know, we've been hearing a lot about cybersecurity lately, largely because of what happened to Sony. Companies and individuals are more concerned about the safety and privacy of their information than ever. President Obama has unveiled a number of new proposals this week to crack down on hackers, and he plans to address this in the State of the Union speech on Tuesday. And it's great that the government is working on this, but the truth of the matter is we need to do a better job of protecting ourselves. You know, the most popular password in the United States is password 123. And as long as that's the case, we're vulnerable. So today we sent a camera out on the Hollywood Boulevard to help people by asking them to tell us their password. And this is how that went.
We're talking about cybersecurity today and how safe people's passwords are. What is one of your online passwords currently?
It is my dog's name and the year I graduated from high school.
Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
I have a Chihuahua Papillon.
And what's its name?
Jameson.
Jameson. And where'd you go to school?
I went to school back in Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
What school?
Hempfield Area Senior High School.
Oh, when did you graduate?
In 2009.
Oh, great.
It's like my cat's name and then just like a random number.
Okay. Have you had this cat for a while?
Yeah, she's my childhood pet.
Aw. And what's her name?
Her name is Jolie.
Jolie. So like a password of yours would be Jolie and then a number.
Yeah.
Like number 1?
Like my birthday.
Oh, when is your birthday?
June 12th.
Oh, nice. And what year were you born?
95.
Oh, great. So Jolie, 6/12/95.
Yes.
Got it.
So you mean to give my password right now? No, I cannot do that.
But we all want to know what it is so we can tell you if it's strong or not.
Oh my goodness. Let me think. Okay, one is Tel Aviv. Yeah. 468, and then Israel. It's only 3, but it's, you know, it's for me it's strong enough.
Ireland, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gemma, 1, 2, 3. Spelled Gemma.
Well, most of them are Italian.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So
what? Like what's a good Italian password?
My grandma's name.
What's your grandma's name?
Maria.
Maria. So Maria is your password?
Oh yeah, now you know my password. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, the important thing is they learned a terrible lesson.
You know there are things other than pornography on the internet? Watch them on the Jimmy Kimmel Live YouTube channel.
Interesting, huh? Would you give a stranger your password?
I would hope not.
Yeah. But
But
you know,
that was-
people
that
are
was
good at asking the right questions. Like these guys that call on the phone, you know, want to get into your computer and they ask you all these questions. And sometimes we can mess up and give answers we shouldn't give.
Right.
I just love the guy who said, no, I won't give you my password, and then did.
Yeah. He probably walked away and then figured all that out.
It's very seldom, and we've probably all been there, what you'll say when somebody's holding a mic in front of your face.
Mm-hmm. And not only does that gal know his password, now everybody that heard that video knows his password.
We would hope everyone in that video immediately went home and changed their password, but it didn't happen.
Probably didn't.
At least we found out a few people's birthdays.
While we're not real busy, I'm going to make a request of everybody that's on right now. Our election is going to be on December the 6th. If you got some time to come into the office and help run the election, and you're not one of the nominees, and you are an up-to-paid member, get a hold of Linda Corrick on Wednesday at the office, or email her to her email and volunteer to come in and help work the election.
Harold, it's December 1st.
1st. Yeah, the 6th is a Sunday.
Correction. Thank you, Dick. December the 1st. I had it written down wrong. I just read it wrong.
We've all been there. So Rose, you're working on any new paintings?
Paintings?
You're talking to Mary.
Rosemary.
Oh, Rosemary.
Oh, Rosemary, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got two of us here, yeah.
Not at the moment. I'm trying to get things packed up. We've got to get back to Florida sooner or later. We do have a gallery get together, which I hope is going to be safe this Saturday. So that's going to be nice.
Well, Sherry and I came up to Kentucky. We didn't run into any difficulties all the way up.
Good to know.
I was very happy to go into Somerset yesterday and buy gas for $1.69 a gallon.
That was good.
And in Georgia, it was, I think I paid $1.70, and I think the most I paid was like $1.90 something all the way up. So.
$1.83 in Punta Gorda.
Okay, yep. Hey, 8 years ago, we had gas prices were up in $4 and $5, if you remember.
No, I don't remember being that high.
Well, it depends on where you were in the country, but I know we were paying like almost $4 a gallon down in Florida, if I remember correctly. 3 and change, yep.
Yep.
3 and change, yeah, but I don't remember ever being 4.
Just hope the election goes the right way, or we will see that again.
I'm afraid so. Hey, I remember.
Yeah, let's
I
get rid
remember
of fracking
27
and
cents
let's
a gallon.
not have any oil for the U.S.
I remember 27 cents a gallon, so.
Yeah, so do I.
Of course, I was only getting 8 miles to the gallon too, but.
I think when I was a kid, oh, maybe 10 or 11 years old, I even saw it as low as 20 cents or 19 cents.
Well, remember when they used to have the gas wars?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2 gas stations across the street from each other kept lowering their price.
And how about sitting in line back in the 60s, waiting and running, using up all your gas to get to the pump?
Yep, yep.
I can remember when I lived out north of Kansas City, Missouri, on the acreage I had, when I'd take 2 55-gallon drums and go down because the gas was 3 cents a gallon cheaper and fill them up so I'd have gas for my tractor.
Well, George, we don't have much activity, so maybe we should move on. What do you think?
Sure.
Well, what time you got?
6:50.
Yeah, you got 8 minutes till 7, and we just.
Well, just in case someone decides
those have been
7
coming in
o'clock to
slow.
pop in, you probably shouldn't.
Or just keep an eye on it and repeat stuff.
If anybody should
Pop
come in, right?
Mm-hmm. I keep letting them in, so.
Gloria, are you going to the event down at the beach on the 14th?
Gloria, hold the space bar.
Yeah, really. I'm playing it safe. I'm really scared to go. I pretty much stay home. I go to the grocery store once every other week. And I go to my routine doctor's appointments, but being outside, it might be okay, but I'm not sure that I'll go. You're going.
I don't know. We
Yeah.
might not even be back by then.
Yeah.
What is that?
Our property owners.
Now, this coming Saturday, November the 7th, the APUG group is holding another virtual conference. I'll send out an email on it so you can see all the particulars, but they're going to be talking about things like navigating the post-COVID era, staying safe and secure, how technology has changed the way we listen to music. Chris and Jim Guld, the Geeks on Tour couple, are going to be talking a little bit about learning. She just finished her second book titled Learn Google Photos. So they'll show a few things that are included in that book. And they've got some Linux workshops coming up.
Also on our events calendar, there's a link to the APCUG site.
So I'll send out an email so you guys can take a look at that. I was part of I watched some of the Linux presentations. I think it was last Wednesday they had some presentations on Linux. I watched those. And it was interesting.
What's the schedule on the Saturday event?
The Saturday event is 1 p.m.
Okay. I just wanted to see if it would
It doesn't
conflict with mine.
conflict. Yep.
I've registered for 2 of those classes.
Oh, good.
Me too. I've got a couple of them lined up. I'm going to, I think the Linux was a 3 or a 4 session.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm signed up for those. So, not that I'm going that way, but I know nothing about Linux, and I thought, well, this is a way to find out. So.
And they have an annual meeting this Saturday at 3:15 p.m. So we can click onto that and to see more about what they're all about.
Okay.
I'm looking through my mail while there's a lull, and from United Healthcare, I got a letter, and I'm constantly getting stuff in the mail for my deceased husband. He's been dead 6 years. Now this is for healthcare. I get like for cremation and auto insurance and everything. I just don't understand how come that continues.
It's continuing for me also. My late wife passed away in 2014, and I still get stuff.
Well, think about all of the people that are deceased that got an invitation to vote.
I didn't get that.
Well, I get all kinds of unsolicited requests too on my email, and I end up not opening them because they just don't apply or they don't interest me at all.
Because the thing we probably should do, Gloria, is just put a line through the address, write deceased, and put it back in the mailbox, and the post office will send it back.
I've done that already.
Okay.
Another thing are the robocalls. My phone system will store up to 250 blocked calls. I'm full. Oh, I've got a question. My phone thing.
I'd like to go back to APCUG. November 11th, there's a class titled Lights, Doorbells, Locks, and Cameras. I think a lot of people are talking about Ring doorbells right now. This might be an interesting class.
Yep. Gloria, what was your last question?
Let me think. I was talking about robocalls. Okay. I saw that there is a system that will store up to 1,000 blocked calls. So I might buy another phone system to do that. But Comcast is supposed to have some kind of system that they have that, and I signed up for it, but it's not working because I get so many calls.
Hey, have you signed up for No Mo Robo?
Yes.
And you're still getting them?
Yes.
Wow. We get very few since we signed up for that. So, well, it's 7 o'clock.
Yep.
George, take it away.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, we'll start. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag
of the
United States of
America
America
and
to the republic
for
for which it stands,
and
one
One nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with
liberty
liberty
and justice for all.
and watch over this election.
Amen.
The first thing, Grover, do you want to give announcements?
Yeah, like I said, we're gonna have our election, December the 1st. And anybody that can take the time to come in and help pass out the ballots, count the ballots and all that would be greatly appreciated. That's about everything I really got that's really important.
Okay. Then I've got one thing here. And it's not showing up. Here we go. We had the Volunteer of the Month. And the Volunteer of the Month is our own Grover. Grover has been with us for how many? 10 years, Grover? So, like, tell Grover, congratulations on Volunteer of the Month. And keep working to get some more.
Congratulations, Grover.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Congratulations, Grover.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Okay, and now we're going to go into the favorite of the month. And it's called PDF Drive. It's a search engine for PDF files. And they have 85 million different ebooks that you can download for free. All you have to do is go into search and all you have to do is click on one that you want, download it, and everything is absolutely free. It's got tons of books and magazines, and it has different categories here that for children, environment, art, and they have tons of magazines on it, and I think you'll like it a lot. And with that, I'm going to switch it back over to Dick, and he's going to start his presentation.
Okay. Well, we're all going to go out now and get those books you showed us on how to hack computers. I thought that was an interesting one, right?
Yep.
We can cause all kinds of problems that we can then bring our computer into the club to get fixed.
Get fixed, yeah.
I must have missed that. What was that?
Well, he typed in his
computers,
on
and
computers.
one of the books was how to hack a computer.
Oh, it's at least a dozen books as you scroll
Yes.
through them.
Dick, we thank you. We thank you. We thank you.
I mean, they gotta give us something to do, Grover. You know.
You say that when you're in Kentucky.
This is true. This is true. All right. Well, let me share my screen. So I thought I would talk a little bit about what I'm calling the cloud confusion. Can everybody see that okay?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. There's a lot of cloud storage available. The ones that I'm typically aware of and most of us hear about are things like OneDrive, Google Drive, Dropbox, Amazon, and many others. They provide storage space on the web. In other words, not on our own computers. So anything that has to do with storing information someplace other than our individual computers is considered in the cloud. In the cloud doesn't mean it's a server located somewhere on the moon or in Mars. It's just a server, meaning a computer somewhere that's storing your information. Now, what are they good for, and how can we utilize them, and why should we? Well, they're good for keeping a copy of things that you have on your computer that are important to you. Like a lot of us use Google Photos to store a copy of our photos. They're on our computer or our cell phone. They're also up in the cloud, in the Google Cloud, in Google Photos. So we can utilize them that way, by having backups of information. So no matter what computer we go to, we can get that information back from the cloud. Now, if you're using the cloud, do you still need to do an image backup like we suggest on a regular basis? If you're using your computer quite frequently and making lots of changes, lots of program updates, lots of installs, you do a whole bunch of writing or picture taking and storing them on your computer, you really should be backing up your computer completely with an image backup program like Macrium Reflect or EaseUs2Do Backup. I try to do mine once a month. If I use the computer a lot more frequently for local storage, I would probably try to do it once a week. And I have to admit that I am not always successful at getting it done once a month. But by doing the image backup, if something happens to the computer, be it a hard disk failure, hopefully not, but somebody walking off with your computer, if you've got an image backup, you can restore your computer, another computer, completely with your image backup and be back right where you started from. So you still should be doing that, even if you're using the cloud to store a lot of your information, because the cloud's not storing your programming. But some of you might think maybe it's just better to use my computer and not even think about all this cloud stuff because it's so confusing. So let's take a look at your computer itself and what kind of storage you've got on your computer. We've got internal storage. We've got our hard disk drive. Now, your hard disk drive looks like this if you took the cover off. Please don't take the cover off. But it's spinning platters, aluminum platters with ferrous oxide coatings on them. It uses a magnetic properties to store and retrieve your data. And these guys spin at 5,400 or 7,200 RPMs. And this little arm here goes back and forth, just like the arm on our old record players. We could move it back and forth, and that's how it accesses your data. Nowadays, we also have solid state drives or SSDs. The picture I grabbed only says 32 gigabytes, but you can get it now for 500 gigabytes. I'm not sure if there are terabyte ones out there yet or not, but they have no mechanical parts. This shows you the difference between this solid state drive has got all electronic chips in it. And this, of course, the hard drive has these spinning platters. This also is what the solid state drive looks like on a lot of the newer computers. It's just a stick like a memory stick. And it's usually, this one's 500 gigabytes. I've seen some in actual computers and they're 500 gigabytes. They're really tiny and they're all solid state. Again, nothing mechanical working with them at all. Now, other storage on your computer, most of us are using USB flash drives. They come in a variety of colors and sizes and shapes, and even sizes. I've looked at some of the prices online, and I can't believe the price of some of these USB flash drives. They are up to 512 gigabytes. I even saw some up to almost, I think, up to a terabyte at very reasonable prices. And if you get one of the newer drives, 3.1 USB 3.1 drives with the blue or the red's even faster. Great for backing up and everything else. The speed is tremendous. Then, of course, there's the old SD cards. Pretty much anybody that's got a laptop today has a slot in that laptop to plug that SD card in. And that SD card on your laptop can be used, to store information just like you can use a USB flash drive. And you can get those SD cards pretty large as well over 100 gigabytes. Another interesting thing about an SD card, which a lot of people don't know, but you can plug an SD card into your computer and have it used as secondary RAM. In other words, your computer's running a little bit slow because you're really tight on RAM. What happens is that your operating system automatically allocates some of your hard disk drive as random access memory, and it utilizes that area to allow you to keep running, even though you're really probably using more RAM than you've got in the computer. It's using, I call it pretend RAM on the hard drive. Well, that's a lot slower than the RAM, your actual RAM chips in your computer. But you can put an SD card in, which runs a lot faster than your hard drive, and allocate it to be used for that extra memory when needed. So that's, and then all your laptops have a slot for it. Of course, then there's the external drive, which is on your computer, basically, just like the other two are. As long as you plug them in, they're part of your computer. And of course, the external drive is what we recommend that you get to do your backups. The external drives generally are just regular mechanical hard drives, just like the hard drive that would be in your computer. They're not usually SSDs. And the mechanical hard drive works really well for backing up. They're pretty cheap. For like $60 or $70, you can get a 2 terabyte drive, which will allow you to back up multiple times, so you can have a lot more than one copy of your image backup. So those are all stored in your house. They're stored locally. They're not in the cloud. Everything is done right on your computer. Now let's move over to see what some of the cloud possibilities are. Windows 10 comes with OneDrive. It used to be called a SkyDrive. That was back, I think that came out with XP, actually. Now it's called OneDrive. All you need is a Microsoft account. Now, if you've got a Windows 10 computer, you don't necessarily have a Microsoft account. Matter of fact, all the computers that we put together that we ship out to the school children have what's called a local account. That customer, whoever's got the machine, would need to establish a Microsoft account. Once you've established a Microsoft account and have a Microsoft username and password, and you receive 5 gigabytes of free storage in the Microsoft cloud, the OneDrive cloud. That's room for like about 2,500 pictures. And it auto saves anything that you save into the OneDrive folder that is on your computer in Windows 10. If you open up File Explorer, your Windows Explorer, excuse me, you open up Windows Explorer and it's one of the folders. Now you can increase that storage to 200 gigabytes for like $2 a month. And if you really like using OneDrive, if you sign up for Office 365, and you can do that for one user for like $69.99 or a year, you get a free 1 terabyte. So if you need to increase storage, it's almost a no-brainer to just go and sign up for Office 365. You get the latest version of Microsoft Office and a free terabyte. So that's how you can utilize OneDrive. Now, another one is called Dropbox. Dropbox has now been around for a number of years, and again, it's a free account. You can just sign up for it, and you get 2 gigabytes of storage. And you can start accessing and sharing your photos, your documents, any file you got on your computer. You can move up the Dropbox. It's you know, a lot of times we want to send an email out. For instance, when George is finished with we're finished with this session, and George gets the video of this entire 3-hour session or 3.5-hour session finished, he couldn't email that to you. He couldn't email it to anybody. It's too big. An email cannot have a file that's that large. But he could upload it to Dropbox. And then with Dropbox, you can click a share button, and it'll provide a link that anybody can use to view that file, even if they don't have a Dropbox account. But what we have found is that if you don't have a Dropbox account and all you need is the free one, you'll only be able to watch like the first hour of anything that's that long. Again, it's free. It's very easy to use. And it can be set up and synchronized on your computer. You can download the OneDrive application onto your computer, and then whatever files that you drop into that OneDrive folder will get synced with the cloud, with the Dropbox cloud. Another thing that's nice about the OneDrive is that you get 30 days to undo accidental edits or deleted files. So that's kind of nice. Now you can roll back any file or folder or your entire Dropbox account. You can back up 30 days. Now you can purchase additional storage. I did that. I now get 2 terabytes. It's like $10 a month if you sign up for the annual fee for it, and that gives me lots of room to put lots of files and videos. And every time I do one of these sessions, one of these Zoom sessions, I'll take the video and I'll upload it to Dropbox, and then I'll make that video available. So it doesn't have to be stored on my computer, and everybody can access it. So that's Dropbox. I've been using it for a number of years. And then there's storage on Google. You know, if you're using Google Chrome, you should have a Google account. Doesn't mean you have to use Gmail. It doesn't even mean you have to have a Gmail account. But you just have to sign up for a Google account. You can be with your current email carrier. You create your account just like you do with Dropbox and you do with Microsoft. You just create a username and password, and it's free. And that free account gives you 15 gigabytes of space on Google Drive, which is the cloud storage area with Google. And you also, because you have a Google account, get unlimited space on Google Photos, provided you save those photos in a high resolution format and not the original format. So there is a cap on the size of your pictures, but it's a pretty high cap. So you're not really, it's not like Facebook. Facebook, you upload a picture to it and that big picture ends up being this big, looks good on Facebook, but when you download it, it's only the size it was on Facebook. It's not the size of the original file. Well, with Google Photos, the size is still pretty big. Maybe the original was 5 megabytes and the saved one up in Google Photos is like 3 megabytes. So when you download it, you get the 3 megabyte file. Now, if you use Gmail, your email and all your attachments to those emails use up part of that 15 gigabytes. But using Google Drive, you can upload to Google Drive anything that you wish to the cloud space. And it'll just take up part of that 15 gigabytes. You can upload your Microsoft documents and Excel files and PDFs that you've got. You can put all that stuff up in Google Drive. It just takes part of that 15 gigabytes. Now, when you run out of that 15 gigabytes, you can purchase more. I'll get to that in a minute. But if you use Google's suite of Office applications, their docs and sheets and slides, which I'm using for this presentation, by the way. This presentation was done using Google Slides, and it creates it in a Google formatted format. In other words, this presentation I'm doing now is not in a Microsoft PowerPoint format. I can download it as a Microsoft PowerPoint if I want, but because it's in a Google format and it's up on Google Drive, it's in the cloud, it's not on my computer. It's the space that it takes on the Google Drive is not counted against my 15 gigabytes. And I can have as many Google documents or spreadsheets or presentation files out there, and none of them will take any space, or they'll take space, but they won't be counted against my 15 gigabytes. So if you use their format, the space is free. Now you need more Google space? Well, you can take a look at what you're using by going to onegoogle.com storage. And that'll tell you exactly what you're using. Let me see if I can get there. See, it's telling me, now I'm using only 1.17 gigabytes of space. Notice Google Drive is 1 gigabyte, Gmail is 0.16 gigabyte, and Google Photos are taking 0 gigabytes. But I forget exactly how many, but I'll show you in a minute. But for more space, you can get 200 gigabytes for $2.99 a month. Now, I've got 102 gigabytes because I bought a computer and it gave me an extra so many gigabytes. So I'm not sure the details behind that. So I've got more than 15, but it's because I bought a Chromebook and the Chromebook gave me so many gigabytes for so many months, and I bought something else and that gave me so many gigabytes for so many months. So, but I'm not using anywhere near the 15 gigabytes that was automatically allocated to me. So you can buy more. I just showed you that presentation on buying more. It actually goes to the same place. So your Google space is free. It's 15 gigabytes. Use it. And then there's Amazon. I say storage on Amazon Prime, but in reality, it's free storage for all members. Every Amazon member gets free storage. Amazon Prime get free unlimited full resolution photo storage and 5 gigabytes of video storage. But all customers get 5 gigabytes of photo and video. And you can grow the storage plan that's right for you. Plans start at $1.99 a month, and you can cancel at any time. Let's go up to this link. And there's a whole bunch of different types of plans that they've got. And some of them are free for a year. There's one that's free forever. And you'd have to go in and see what the details are. But these are not for Prime accounts. These are for anybody that has an Amazon account. And again, Amazon is just like Google, just like Microsoft. You don't have to buy anything to get an account. You just sign up. Give them an email address, create a password. You'll have an Amazon account, and then you can get the free space. So that kind of wraps up the presentation on cloud storage and using the cloud. I didn't want to get into too much details, but that's been about almost a half hour, so I think that's probably more than enough. Don't forget, we've got a Thursday Zoom computer class every Thursday. And if you're not getting the invitations, you can click on this link. It'll pop up this little box which says, give me your email address, first and last name, and I'll put you on you'll be on the email list and get all the information. This presentation is up on the club site at cccg.info, and you'll see it. Let me go over to that page, but that's the end of this presentation. And let me go over to the CCCG site. Here's the November favorite that George showed you a little bit earlier about all those free books. So I expect everybody to get the one on hacking, and we can kick back and forth how successful we were hacking into the election routine. No, we don't want to do that. And this is the article. This is the PowerPoint that I just did, or the presentation I just did. It's in a PDF format. It's called The Cloud Confusion, and it's right here. And all of our other, this was the October favorite. This is the photo scanning that I pulled up earlier to show Harold. And this is the September favorite. So go through a bunch of these and pick up some of the information that we've given, we being the club, has given out to you at a prior meeting or during a month. And hopefully you'll be able to utilize a lot of that. Okay, I will stop my share. Anybody have any questions they'd like to ask?
I just have one comment. 2 weeks ago, I went and you were talking about different flash drives. I bought a flash drive with 2T on it for $10.
Wow. Where'd you get that?
I got it on eBay. I'm gonna let people know. I've just started using it. If it works out good, I'll let everybody know.
Yeah, please do.
Here's what it looks like. That's as big as it is. 2
terabytes, and it was $10.
Yep.
Wow.
I did that, and it's fine if you're doing just copying 1 or 2 files at a time. You try backing up a lot of data, and it stops working. So be careful.
Well, we'll see. Mine's doing fine so far.
Yeah, I had got one up in Kentucky at a place for, it was a 128 gigabyte, but it was like almost 2 years ago. And it was pretty cheap. And like Mary said, I could do 1 or 2 files, but when I tried to do a whole bunch, it just stopped working. So, but that was, that's when they were first coming out. So hopefully they're much better now. Well, I hope that was that presentation was informative for you, and maybe you'll stop playing a little bit more with some of these cloud things. And if you want some really in-depth how to utilize some of these, let's talk about it on Thursdays. Okay?
Enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dick.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks, Dick.
Thank you.
Back to you, George.
Okay. I have one thing to show you. This is a Microsoft product that you might not know you have on your machine. It's called Voice Recorder. Open Voice Recorder.
All right. I'll open Voice Recorder.
It's a very simple program. You click here and it records everything that you're saying or doing or on the computer. What I use this for is when I'm looking at something on the computer and want to take notes, I just take this on it and I'm able to take notes all the time. You can also, if you do YouTube and want to record some music, you can use this to just put it on, turn it on and put the music on, it'll record for you. It's very simple. You can pause it and you can put different flags on if you want to do it. If you're doing like music, you can flag each song separately. And when you're done, it'll come up. And on mine, it stores in documents with a subfolder of sound recording, and you're able to use them all the time. This is really helpful and useful, and I think you can use it.
Does it create a text file of the recording also?
No, it's only in voice recording.
Cool.
Okay, so next thing we're going to do, we're going to go into the raffle. As a matter of fact, if you can read this, I have the raffle on my flash drive. And I have 1.9 terabytes left on my flash drive here.
Down.
These are the raffle prizes. Number one is a 32 gig SD SanDisk. Number two is a knife set. Number three is a pair of flashlights. And number four is a 16 gigabyte flash drive. And Rose, are you going to be picking winners?
Here we go.
There's the magic box.
The magic box. As everybody was logging in, I put your name in here. And yeah, you must be present to win. What we will do is I will call the name and you choose 1, 2, 3, or 4. And you will be able to pick up your prize at the club office during working hours. Okay, all set to go? We'll choose winner number 1 is Charles. Charles did not have his last name on the list. So is Charles still here? Yes, he is. There he is. Charles, if you want to unmute your, let us know which one you would like.
I might try that Scandex.
Not Charles Burns, Charles in the blue shirt.
Right, W-R-I-G-H-T.
Whoops, Charles, can't hear you.
W-R-I-G-H-T.
Right.
What was the right? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
His last name.
Yes, I need the last name.
Right. That is my last name.
Who's on first?
Charles, need to put your volume up so we can hear you.
No, it's,
No,
that-
not Charles Burns.
Okay.
Charles in the blue shirt.
Okay, it's Wright. W-R-I-G-H-T.
Right. Okay, and Charles, right. What number would you like? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
2.
2?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Okay. Prize number 2 is for Gloria Pierce. Is
Oh boy,
Gloria
oh
still
boy.
here?
Yes, she is.
All right, Gloria, which number would you like?
Uno.
Uno.
Okay.
Okay. Winner number 3 is Barbara Durham.
Pick number 4, thank you.
Barbara number 4. Okay. And our final winner is Donald Niosi.
That's me.
That's you. So Donald, you would get number 3. You would get the flashlights.
Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. And just so you know, because we don't have a December meeting, this is the last set of prizes that we currently have in storage. And so we will be surprised come January. You never know. Thank you for attending. George, back to you.
Okay.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank everybody for coming, and I just want to make sure you all know that we have the voting on December 1st at the office between 10 o'clock and 2. Hope to see all of you there.
Thank you.
Bye.
I'll see you.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Enjoy the
Take care now.
evening. George, close it out, George.
Okay. Everyone have a good evening. Bye now.